Talking Cougar basketball with the head coach of the Cougar women's squad, Mike Davis. The Cougars, December 5th is when we're taping this, but Woods on the schedule already at their place. It's strange enough, we talked about it before the season started with the new teams into the conference, and just to get scheduling to fit correctly, early conference games. Usually that's after the end of semester and into the new year.
Well, in the past, our conference season has started the first to second week of January. This season, with the addition of the new teams, Freed Hardeman and Mid-Continent, we actually will have 2 conference games prior to Christmas break. So on Thursday we have William Woods, and then on Saturday we go to St. Louis and play Harris Stowe. So 2 road games. Great opportunity to go get 2 wins on the road and get things started in the conference. But it's a different feeling having the conference race this early in the year. But at the same time, I think it is a race in the conference. That's how you get to the national tournament. That's how you get bids there. So I think if nothing else, it maybe even increases the awareness of how important games are.
Well, definitely, as I say, in some way, a mindset not just for the players, obviously, as they're getting to this time of the year, thinking about finals and trying to wrap up studies, but also thinking about the holidays and family and where, all that stuff. And then you think, wait, we've got conference games. These really mean something big time as far as that standings, as you mentioned. That's the ultimate prize, is that trip into the tournament, and having good conference record makes that a lot easier.
Well, I think, the importance of that conference season, and I think we've talked about this before, but from our women's side, we have 2 automatic bids to the national tournament. One is by winning the regular season, one is by winning the postseason tournament. So, that's how you get the opportunity for the postseason play. And by starting in this time in December, boy, it just, stretches that race out a little bit, and to me makes it even more fun. We have it up on the board in there, everyone's record, and after tonight, then what your conference record will be, and then the race officially begins.
Yeah. And that again too is because there's 12 teams in the conference. Is that the way that works as far as the automatic for the regular season? Is that the number?
Well, actually, I have to count up. I think we have 14 right now on the women's side. Yes,
because minimum,
yes,
conference with 12 teams minimum.
Well, we'll have 14 extra. Excuse me. We have 12 this year. You are correct. But yes, it starts early, and there's lots of conference games. And after Christmas, we'll have the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic that you mentioned, and then everything else is conference from then on out to postseason play.
Down the stretch, we talked about a couple of the players earlier, Heather English as well, but 3 players averaging in double figures along with Heather, Kayla, and Laurel are also really hitting the ball and getting their shots. As you mentioned, we struggled a little bit shooting-wise, but there are a couple of the leaders for this team.
Well, I was really kind of worried about her inside play, and Kayla Washington and Laurel Wishman have both stepped up and done a really good job on the inside, and both averaging double figures, just a little over 10 points a ball game, and both shooting very well, both over 60% from the field. I think the issue we've had with both of those players had lots of foul trouble. Kayla, who we call Dub, and this is a true stat, she can't make this up, she's averaging 4 fouls a ball game. So it's really limiting her minutes, where we would love to have her playing 27, 28 minutes a ball game. She's playing 18 or 19 minutes right now. And the same thing with Laurel. So, those are 2 people that are producing well, but they also have to do a better job of keeping themselves on the court so we can even increase that production more.
That gets back into what it all kind of dovetails together about the flow of the team and the way the way the team is going when you have all your weapons at the same time, and you get into that rhythm that you're used to. But if you got a couple on the bench with foul trouble or whatever the case may be, that certainly leads into those problems.
Well, darn officials, darn officials. But, things are being called differently this year, not just for us, but for all teams. For people who have not been out to any ball games yet, there is a mandate on the officials to clean some things up and hand checks, even if you're not impeding anyone's progress. So, one of the games that we were at up at the tournament in St. Mary's, one team shot 51 free throws and the other team shot 48. They shot 99 free throws between them. And that really takes away flow from the game. But I think it's something we're all having to adjust to. It's men's and women's both. So it is changing how the game is played and some of the things that you can do and you can't do right now. And, you can either complain about it or adjust. So you'd better adjust to it.
As long as they're calling it both ways.
There hasn't been any issue that way. It's just simply been a change. It's been a difference.
And that's a transition not only for you as a coach, but also trying to preach that and get them, the players, into that mindset to remember that and stay away from those fouls.
Well, I think you can still do things the same way, but you even have to do it at a better level. Right. If you get a little lazy and don't do it at a high level, then you pay the price of a foul for it.
Early in the season, I know, but we mentioned a little bit with the overall shooting. What are some things besides, let's say, the shooting percentage? What's the next number one thing that you know that this team has got to get right or fixed most of the way there, if you're following, to try and pick up a few more W's?
You know, the chicken or the egg? I think we need a little bit of swagger back. You know, I think that sounds like a funny thing for a coach to say, but I think this is a team right now that needs to get a little bit of confidence back and have a little bit of success. And I think the players are there to do those things that we want to do. But sometimes you have to really believe you're going to get it done. And, you know, I think we're fighting with ourselves a little bit as far as that confidence. And you know, you can't push that into someone. That has to come from hard work and success. And you know, you just work your way through things.
And there's enough newcomers on the team and still kind of putting that whole team aspect together. But like you said, the teams over the years have always had, on both sides of the ball, really, in all the teams at Columbia College, there is that a little extra swagger, a little extra confidence that helps kind of fuel into some of the success.
Well, I think you have to have that. If you really don't believe you're going to get it done, you're probably not going to. And, you know, that's one of the things when you're traveling a lot on the road or playing this team or that team, you know, if you get knocked down, you got to get right back up and get going. And I think we're battling a little bit with that. I think the conference race is a great way for us to have that extra, you know, energy to make sure that the importance of all those games are there. So I think this is a good, really a good timing for us to get into conference play.
Back at it, William Woods, and then at Harris Stowe in St. Louis, or to start conference season, and then more conference games later. As far as the positive side of some things, what are a couple of things that you've seen on the court, off the court, in the practice gym, that you really like about where this team is right now to start the year?
This is a good group to work with, and you know, a lot of really good kids. And I think that's one thing we're fortunate with all of our programs here at Columbia College. There's some great people to work with, and I think I use the word kid, but that's not the right term to use. You know, they're great young people, and I think as coaches, that's the reason we do this, because you really do enjoy working with young people. And there's a lot of pluses along those lines. Do we all have challenges and stuff to work through? Sure we do. But, you know, that's part of the fun of it. You know, stuff means more to you when you have to work through it. So I think, you know, the people we're working with, that's a great plus for us. And I think the other thing is, too, you know, I think starting into that conference play, again, I think that focus gets there. And, you know, this is a group that's had great success and won lots of ball games over the last several years. So I think there's, you know, just a looking forward to the stuff that's in front of us. So, you know, no one's down right here. It's just we've got to work our way through some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, you're not 0-5. You know, it's you know, and you're a last second free throw.
I might have all my hair pulled out at 0-5. Okay, I'm not that nice of a guy.
And that's one of those things, as you mentioned, that's one of the intangibles that you look for when you're recruiting the student athletes. There's, you know, the numbers on their grades, there's the numbers on their shooting percentage and free throws and three-pointers, and then there's that, you know, that mindset that they bring to the court that you can't put on paper.
You love fighters. And when I say fighters, I'm not talking about fists, but I'm talking about people that, you know, they don't know when they're beaten. And they'll work their way through things. And I think we have some of that on this team. And, you know, it's a battle and go to work every day and you get it fixed.
Well, the Cougars into conference play early, and then some non-con, as we mentioned earlier, the Cougars versus the Coaches versus Cancers event here brought to you by Cost Cutters at the Gym Games, 28th and 29th, both for the men and the women. And the full schedule up online at ColumbiaCougars.com if you get a chance to see the Cougars on the road or here at home. Coach, good luck. Go get a win over Woods, and we'll talk to you again here soon.
Sounds good. Have a great holiday.
All right, you too. Thanks, Coach. Mike Davis, the women's basketball coach here at Columbia College. You've been watching Cougar Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22.